Hello everyone and welcome back. Sorry I've not been around for a while, but I'm back now. So today I really wanted to concentrate on high-end products versus more high street makeup brands and cosmetics, because for a while I was using more high-end stuff and actually I've kind of decided to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so keep watching. Okay, so jumping straight in, I'm going to prep my skin first. I'm actually using the Body Shop at the minute and I love it. This is Drops of Youth, so like me, if you're a little bit older, I am now 50 by the way, this is a great serum. What it does is it kind of smooths out the pores, hydrates the skin hugely. It's actually amazing for across the chest area when you're a little bit kind of dry here. Yeah, and just apply it all over the skin. I hope my lighting's okay for you all today. You can let me know what you think. Now it's just a couple of pumps of this. That's all you need. You don't need much. A little goes a long way. But yeah, it's a really good product. I've recommended it to a lot of friends and they're loving it. So next thing up is Drops of Youth moisturiser. Again, super hydrating. Don't need much. Now I know a lot of people like to spend a lot of money on their skincare, and that is fine. If you enjoy using it, if you enjoy the smell, then go for it. It's all about how it makes you feel as well as what it does for your skin. But I honestly love this. It's nothing really to do with the price. It helps that it's not a fortune, but I really do think it gives you results. It really smooths. And if I'm particularly tired and my skin looks a bit crinkly, which it often does, this really just smooths it out. So, on to base. Now the last time I was here I was using Christian Dior Forever Glow and I swore by that, and I went through about 3 bottles. I've now changed. I've gone to, believe it or not, Kiko Daily Protection CC Cream. Now is it CC cream or BB cream? I can never work out which is which, but basically it's like a tinted moisturiser and it is lovely. I don't think with my skin I need a lot of coverage, so this seems to do the job, plus it's got an SPF, so it's all good, isn't it? So I'm going to apply this now and just show you how much I actually use. I don't use a lot of product, never have. Couple of squeezes really, or a couple of pumps if you were using a pump action, and that is it. And I would use it with my foundation brush. Now this is probably a little bit warmer than my skin tone, but that's good. Being a kind of tinted moisturiser, you want it to give a little bit of warmth to your skin, and it does give a light coverage, or I would even say it gives a buildable coverage. So if you feel you need a little bit more in places, then add a little bit more. I went into Kiko one day in Silverburn in Glasgow, and I had a moisturising foundation in my head, in my hand, not my head, and I was going to buy it, and then I thought, you know, I kind of want to get away from foundation and makeup, and I want to wear something much lighter and fresher. I don't like seeing makeup on my skin. I did think Forever Glow was brilliant, but I don't know, maybe you need a change sometimes. Okay. So there we are. It takes a couple of minutes just to apply that, and that should do the trick. I like to think I don't look quite as pasty as I did a minute ago. One thing I haven't changed up is my concealer. I'm still using Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I absolutely love it that way. I've maybe been through about 4 of these now, still love it, because it doesn't show texture under my eyes, and that's 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 what you're really trying to avoid when your skin gets older. It's texture. Young girls don't have to worry about that, but I do. And that's how much I use, and that's where I use it. Now I've got a very glamorous assistant to my left today, my daughter Scarlett. Would you like to pop your head in, Scarlett, and say hello? There she is. Now, if you could zoom me in a little bit. A little bit more. Perfect. Great. Now I'm going to blend in the concealer. Now as you can see, I'm only using it in the inner corners of the eye. Yes, as you blend it, it will kind of move under the eye and out a little bit, and that's okay, but basically you're concentrating on the inner portion of the eye, because that's where you're dark. I have never ever been into the big diagonals under the eyes and the big white rings under the eyes. I hate that look, always have. I think it looks painted on. I'm all about keeping it looking natural and fresh, so as far as under eye concealer goes, that is more than enough for me. So yes, we've gone very much high street to high end, but that's okay because we're mixing them up. Next up, the last time I spoke to you guys, I was using the, oh, what's it called? The a powder. Elf. I was using Elf powder, and I still think it's a fantastic powder. I really just wanted to try something else. So if you're still using this, great, stick with it. I would buy it again. It's really good, and it's really affordable. But I just wanted to have a change, saved money on some base, so I decided to give Chanel powder a little try again. I actually used to work for Chanel, so I'm very familiar with their products. This was a massive seller. It's called Peche or Peach powder, and it's like a two-tone. So for instance, if you're in a really artificial light, what it does is it throws off a hue of a little bit of a warmer tone. Okay, it's lovely and lightweight, so I'm going to apply that under the eyes. And on the areas where I tend to shine, which is the T-zone. Apart from that, don't feel I need much more. It does set your base, of course, but I don't like to look powdered, so I wear a very small amount. Now, next up, I'm going to go with bronzer, which is, today I'm going to use Vieve bronzer. I've spoke about Vieve products before. I really love them. The bronzer's amazing. So what you have is basically a bronzer and a contour together, and this is the medium. This is the medium one. So this here being your contour and this being your blush. What I've noticed when I watch back any videos of mine, the colour never looks quite as it does close up or in real life. It seems to look a bit cooler or a little bit flatter, so bear that in mind. This is much warmer than it seems. So I'm going to use the bronzer, and I'm going to start across my forehead. And across the cheekbones. I think bronzer is one of the absolute must-haves for me. Without it, I feel very pasty-faced. Move it down the nose. The way I like to apply bronzer is, I imagine I'm sitting in the sun, and if you were, you would feel the sun in your face, and if you know, you would see the redness appear like, you know, that's that lovely glow you get when you sit in the sun. That's kind of where you want to apply your bronzer. Here. Just across your cheekbones. I like to keep it quite high up. If I make it too low, then it'll make me look very sunken here. We don't want that. Okay, and next up, we're going blush. Now, I've showed you this before. This is Pesca. Definitely a favourite of mine because it's peach and it's a true peach. When you see that in camera, it looks quite pale. It's really not. It's lovely and warm and glowy on the skin. Now, I like to keep this nice and high in the cheekbones because if you apply anything too low, it's going to sink the face inwards if you're a little older. So keep it high. On the other side. So I know I've covered this in videos before where I did blush placement and bronze placement, but it's so important that you put your blusher in the highest points of the cheeks and not too low here, because it really will give you this effect. It will be kind of, you know, pulls you down. Everything you want to apply to your face is to lift and basically to lift and push back. So that's what we're trying to achieve whilst adding some nice colour. There we are. Looking better already. Okay, so on to eyes. Now I'm going to keep this really simple because there's a couple of products I want to show you. So I'm not going to spend all the time doing an eye look, I just want to show you the products. So I'm going to do a very quick wash of colour on my eyelids. And this is the Vieve eye wand. I'm sure this is hazelnut. Yeah, hazelnut, which is just great for day to day, I think. It gives you a bit of a line as well. They're great as eyeshadow bases and also just to wear on their own. I use these in my makeup kit when I'm working with brides, and I use sand on most brides, which is a lovely natural colour which suits most skin tones, and then I build on top of that and it makes the shadow stay in place all day. It is great, I love it. So I think I've got most of our eye wands now, and yeah, they're great. You should check them out if you don't have one already, and I will link them below. So I have just literally basically really just a couple of strokes of the eye wand and then blend the outside edges. That's all there is to it. They're creamy, but they set, and once they set they don't move, which is everything we want. We don't want our makeup budging, do we? We don't want to be topping it up all the time. I want to put my makeup on, I want to go to work, and I want it to be still there later on. I don't want to have to keep checking it. It is just a pain in the neck. So that's how easy that is to blend. Simple. Again, if you see any little hard edges, you just use a blending brush and just work over them. Okay, so next up, back to High Street brand Kiko. And I've got two liquid liners here. They are great. And the best thing about them is they don't budge. Now, because I've got green eyes, I bought a kind of plummy shade, and I also bought a really dark one, which is, I would say it's more of a graphite than a black. If I use a matte black, it does not do anything for my eyes at all. It makes them too sunken. I need something that reflects the light a little bit, and both of them do that. So yeah, I love both. But for the sake of today, I think we'll go for the plummy one. So this is number 7. They're all numbered, all the colours. And they've got loads. They've got greens, they've got silvers, golds. I could have gone mad and bought more, but hey. So here we go. I am going to just apply this liquid liner. Let me bring you in. Now I know it's a tricky thing to do, liquid liner, I really do. But there's kind of a knack. Just practice, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the main line next to the, as close to the lash line as I can. Now, when you're close up to my eyes, in case you can see like a faint line which looks like liner, it's tattooed. So I haven't gone ahead and done a little bit, it's tattooed. So working along. There we are, we've got our line. Now as you can see, it was just little flicky strokes I was doing. I'm not trying to do one big stroke all in one go. It's always going to end up in a mess. So get about that far and then you build on the outside and start to thicken it and wing it out. So it's one of these little kind of pointy felt tip applicators. I think it's really easy to use. So there we've got one eye done, and now to do the other eye. Now you'll know that you always have one easy eye and one hard eye, don't you? This is the difficult one for me, and I think it's the shape of my skull. I think that one maybe curves round a little bit, and it's a bit, oh God. The things you learn when you're doing eyebrow tattooing, I did not realise this, but everyone's skull has a flatter side and a curved side. And when you look in the mirror, you can actually see. Mine is, hang on, let me just check what side swap with mine. God, it's quite hard to do it in your own face, but actually, I think that might be the flat side and that's the curved side. But when anybody comes to me for tattooing, I can look at them straight away and I can see their curved side and their flat side. And basically what that means is when you're trying to get symmetry, you have to kind of bear in mind the curved side to try and even them up. It's much more difficult than it looks. But yeah, bit of useless information for you. Other eye. And I'm just going to blend underneath a little bit. Really just want that to look like a shadow. And some eyebrows. I still use the same old faithful eyebrow pencil that I've used for years and years. It's Hazel and I think it's number 7. It is brilliant, just because the texture of the pencil is great, but also it's the colour. If you're blonde, basically it's not too red. It is a cool tone, which is perfect for your colouring if you're blonde. And I'm getting my own eyebrows tattooed very, very soon, and I cannot wait till this step will be taken. I'm often asked if I can tattoo my own eyebrows. The answer is no, absolutely not. I absolutely love tattooing other people's, but I can't do my own. I have to use a magnifier to work close up and do eyebrows so I can see each individual stroke. So trying to do that look in the mirror would just be a joke. So next up, back to the high street, I have Kiko mascara. Now here is a laugh for you. This is no joke. I've been using this one, as you know, Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes, and I have loved it. I've bought maybe 2 or 3 and gone right through them all. It's about 26, 27 quid, and don't get me wrong, it's a great mascara, I love it. but it's 26 quid. Kiko had one sitting at the till for £4.50. I'm sure it was £4.50, I could be wrong, but it was, let's just say it was definitely under £6, or definitely under a fiver actually. And it is even better. To me, it's all in the brush, and it's not a screw top, it's a clicker. And the idea is it doesn't dry out, because when you're constantly screwing the cap on, it apparently dries it out. It doesn't, and it's great. So I'll link down below exactly what one this is, but it's great. It's a really, really chunky brush, and if your eyelashes are quite sparse like my own, this does wonders. So here we go. I know everyone has their favourites with mascara, and I don't find it easy finding one, but this one, I have to say, it's felt a bit like a lucky find. And I definitely think the chunkier style brushes are what works for me. What would you do without mascara? Spend as much time as you like building this, obviously, and then you just click it shut. So that's it open, and you just click it shut. It's very tempting to try and screw it on, but nope, no need. And I'm going to finish up with a lipstick actually, and this is one I purchased quite recently and I'm loving. It is by Huda Beauty, and it's a nude, but it's a lovely texture of nude because it's not too dry, it's not too matte, and it is called, what's it called? Scarlet?
What one?
The name is under here. What's the name?
Honey Bun.
Honey Bun, there you are, Honey Bun. Lovely. And Kiko, I have got a Kiko pencil here, if you can see the name on there for me, or the number.
301.
Number 301, it's very, very similar, so I'm going to put that on first, and then the Huda Beauty Lippy. Now, if you don't really like the look of lip liner, it's absolutely fine. Put it all over your lips and go for a shade the same colour or slightly lighter, but what it does is it keeps the makeup, it keeps your lipstick on. And here is Honey Bun. Kind of peachy nude, and a wee kind of magnetic case there. I've never used anything from Huda Beauty before, not lips anyway, so I like it. I really like the texture, and I find it quite long wearing, being that it's not a matte, but it's just a wee bit softer to look at. So I think the last thing I'm going to do, final thing, is a little bit of highlight. So I'm going to put a little bit of highlight on the centre of my lid and brow bone. And this is Vieve, and this is Holy Chic from her. This is her one of her highlighters. So we're going to go brow bone, eyelid, and a little bit of cheekbone. Voila, finito. That's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week with, I might be doing some lip looks next week, so hope to see you then. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Just click the subscribe button and press the bell, and it means if you press the bell that you're notified every time I post something new. So to all you new subscribers, thank you so much, and hopefully see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.